Cool. On to the next one. Oh boy, your favorite Western Conference team.
Let's go St. Louis. Enemies of the
It's St.
pod,
Louis
baby.
time. Time to
Enemies
slander.
of the pod.
Just your enemy. Listen, I was there. I visited St. Louis. I can't be an enemy.
All right, so their top player is any center back that they play. Most impressive is any center back that they play with. Least impressive are the center backs who don't give them the ball. Are they overachieving? They're overachieving for a team that gets them in there. And your question for me as to why are they so good right now? It's because every team gives them the ball. Next.
Yep, that's about what I expected from you. My top player, or sorry, let me start over. They're 5-0 and
I've
2,
thrown you off.
second in the Western Conference. My top player for them, I have gone for Edward Leuven because I didn't want to pick Chow Clash considering he's been handed a few goals so far this season.
That's who I picked because he's been handed those goals.
He's taken them well. I mean, I'm not going to blame Klaus for them passing the ball right to him. I mean, he's finishing every one of those chances, but I've been with Leuven. I think he's been pulling the strings behind the scenes, and Klaus has been getting a lot of the attention because he's scoring the goals. But Leuven's got 1 goal, 3 assists so far. And I think he's been a great player for them. Most impressive, I've gone for Kyle Haber. I think he's
Yep.
went into that center back spot and he's absolutely locked it down. I mean, they have conceded 8 goals so far this season, but I think he's done a great job with. He was a draft pick, I think, right? First season. Yep, first season for a brand new team. Obviously, there's going to be chemistry issues, but he has come in and he's played like an MLS vet. So, most impressive for me, easily.
Um, so I had two. I thought you were gonna pick him. But I also put in Jared Stroud there. I thought Jared Stroud has really come into his own. Watching him at Red Bull, we knew exactly what he could grow into, and he never really got that shot in Austin. So I'm really glad that he has stepped up again. Another one who benefits from the other team, but he has done very
Correct. Tell me if I'm totally off my rocker here on this one. The Stroud to St. Louis move reminds me a bit of um, Diego Fagundes moving to Austin. Like I feel like it was just a really good revival move for them to just kind of like jumpstart them again.
well. Yeah, no, I can see that for sure.
Cool. All right, least impressive might be a tough one, honestly, because I think they've all been playing better than we expected from them. I've gone for Thomas Ostrak. I thought he would be better, honestly. Not to say that he's been poor, but 344 minutes, 4 starts so far. A guy that I thought was going to be more involved in the attack going forward for them. One of the young Bundesliga guys that they brought over, but he's only got 1 goal so far, 0 assists. I think ratings wise, he wasn't great either. He's ninth on who scored, and he is where is he on here? Sorry, I can't. He's 13th on Sofa, so I don't think he's playing poorly, but I thought he would do a bit more for them.
For me, it was Ozil Jackson. Jackson was the guy that I highlighted as somebody who I thought was going to have a breakout year this year. Um, Realistically, just hasn't had the opportunity. Um, Still very, very young. He was just my one to watch as a breakout guy. 21-year-old midfielder. He's only got 16 minutes this year. I just expected a lot more out of him. However, because what I expected was this midfield to be not figured out on day one, and they just they hit it right on the head. So um, he just hasn't had the chance to get it yet.
Cool. Overachieving, underachieving should be a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
Obviously overachieving.
Yep.
I had them 13th. Was not high on them at all. Maybe it was just a lack of knowledge and being a bit ignorant, but they are clearly doing much better than 13th.
Yeah. Yeah. Overachieving. That's an easy one.
All right, question for you. This team started the season 5-0. They've lost their last 2. Is this team crashing back to earth now?
Yeah. Absolutely. They set records. It was great. Really excited. Um, and they're not bad, by the way. This isn't me saying, oh, they're garbage and they're going to uh you know, finish dead last, right? But we all knew they were above their weight. We all knew that they were punching high, and now that they've been, and let's be honest, right? And I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, but they didn't really, to my knowledge, have a super tough start to the year.
You mean like schedule wise?
Yeah, schedule wise, I think they had one good win, if I remember correctly.
They beat
I think
Austin. They beat Charlotte. They beat Portland. They beat San Jose, and RSL.
yeah.
So to
So
your point,
really,
I think none of those teams are in a playoff spot. Maybe a play in.
well, San Jose is. You just
Oh
spent
yes, yes, San
hours
Jose.
talking about how good they are.
I don't know about hours, but okay, yeah,
Um,
San Jose.
so San Jose's in there, and their first win of the season against Austin was a good one too. But
Well,
Charlotte, Portland,
we
and
thought so.
Salt Lake, yeah,
They did
Charlotte.
also get kind of handed that one, that win.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing, right? But they when they started, Minnesota has been playing relatively well, and then Seattle put them in their place. Now they got FCC, which is going to be a tough game for them.
Yeah,
Colorado away is going to be relatively difficult. Then they get Portland again, then Dallas, and then they get LAFC, LA. So what's good for what they're doing is they don't have a ton of back to back to back really tough games, so they can kind of settle in and figure it out. Um, but yeah, I think what you're going to see is this team's going to drop down relatively mid table when they start playing teams that are, significantly better than them and don't give them the ball. I think you'll see them drop a bit. But then the teams that they're supposed to beat, Colorado and Chicago maybe, and SKC and those teams, they'll get results off. So I think this team is probably closer to middle of the, or playing maybe a bit above that right now. But it's all about consistency, my friend.
yeah. I think people are gonna overreact because there's a decent chance that they lose to FCC. I mean, FCC is a very good team, and that would make 3 straight losses for them. And I think people will overreact to that and say that this is the real St. Louis. They're crashing back to earth. This is what we expected from them. The first 5 games were a fluke. I think the real test for me is that Colorado game after it to see what they're capable of there. If they get the job done there, I think that this team is a good team and just hit a run of games where they were playing tough opponents. I mean, Seattle's top of the West, FCC's top of the East. It's back to back. You're playing against the top team, arguably on each Eastern Conference. I mean, each conference. So I think majority of the time you're not going to be playing the top team. So Colorado is a good test to see if like they can continue that first 5 game stretch or if they are actually falling to the level that we were expecting of them.
Yeah, 100%.